I comp for Cam Ward because of the way he plays. He reminds me of Patrick.
I think this is what the Tennessee Titans need. My comp is Joe Burrow.
But I also like Cam Ward because he came up the hard way. You know, he doesn't have five-star syndrome.
C.J. Stroud came in great right away. Jaden Daniels, obviously, great right away. Bo Nix, pretty good right away. So rookie quarterbacks are showing they can come in and do damage right away. This is your chance to do it, Cam.
The first overall pick is a place where dreams are made, legacies are born, or mistakes that will haunt franchises for decades. The Tennessee Titans, owners of the NFL's worst record in 2024, are desperate for a new beginning after the Will Levis experiment completely failed. With a new general manager calling the shots and a head coach known for transforming quarterbacks, change is in the air in the Music City. Cam Ward is the spark Tennessee has been waiting for, but the big question is, can he save the franchise and bring them back to life? Now, the 2025 class definitely didn't have the caliber of weapons or just quarterbacks, particularly in comparison to a stacked 2024 group, and has left fans and franchises largely uninspired. The medley of blue chip signal callers that littered the top 10 picks just a year ago have been replaced by the polar opposite, a pair of quarterbacks that nobody seemed particularly too excited about. But that really shouldn't take away from Cam Ward's rise to being the top pick in the NFL draft, especially given his just kind of remarkable starting point from where he actually started playing football. It's pretty well documented now that he was a zero-star recruit coming out of high school, where he was hidden in a run-heavy wing T offense at Columbia High in Eastern Texas. He threw just 124 passes in the entirety of his junior season, going 19-10 in his career as a starter. Therefore, Ward readily accepted his only scholarship offer from Incarnate Word. In San Antonio, who threw the ball 893 times for nearly 7,000 yards in 19 games, a return which finally saw coaches from Power 5 conferences take him seriously. He then entered the transfer portal following Incarnate Word head coach Eric Morris to Washington State, where he showed no signs of growing pains despite a significant jump in the quality of opposition he faced. 23 touchdown passes in his debut effort was surpassed by a dominant 2023 season where he passed for 3,736 passing yards, were the fourth most by any quarterback in the country. And that was in an entirely new system that he had seen in 2022, as Eric Morris's departure from Pullman was an increased playmaking burden on the third-year quarterback, with more RPO and designed quarterback runs added to the pass-heavy Cougar offensive playbook. Ward's 8 rushing touchdowns helped contribute to upset wins against Oregon State, Wisconsin, and Colorado. And surprisingly enough, he actually declared for the 2024 draft, but then he decided to stay in the college game for one more year, transferring to the University of Miami, where under the brightest of lights, he never faltered. Surrounded by improved weapons in the Hurricanes offense and an entirely new pro setup, Ward posted an insane 4,313 passing yards for 39 scores, a tally which led the nation as one of the Heisman Trophy frontrunners for most of the season. By bringing home the Davey O'Brien Award and Manning Awards, Cam had demonstrated consistency and versatility across his entire college career. But it really took until 2024 for people just to kind of realize the truly elite talent that he does possess. Every time he's been faced with a new challenge, Cam Ward has been able to prevail and just overcome it. And while he's not facing the same type of doubt he's used to as he takes the reins of the Titans offense, there's still plenty of uncertainty of how he'll perform at the next level. The stakes have never been as high for Ward as they are in Tennessee right now. He's not just a symbol of hope like many other first rounders, he needs to be the savior for this franchise. You see, since Steve McNair's departure in 2005, the Titans have drafted 3 quarterbacks inside the top 10: Vince Young, Jake Locker, and Marcus Mariota. It doesn't take long to look at how each of their careers panned out before it becomes clear that Tennessee has a terrible track record at drafting the position. And without a doubt too, their best signal caller in the past 2 decades has been Ryan Tannehill, but he was acquired via trade. Will Levis has been at the helm since 2023 when he was selected early in the 2nd round. It would be tough to say that he's justified the cautious optimism around him since, churning out as many meme templates as he has touchdowns. He hasn't exactly had a stellar supporting cast, but some of the decisions Levis has made with the ball early in 2024 gave the Titans staff plenty of reason to bench him. Head coach Brian Callahan was openly critical of his quarterback, which is a bleak state of affairs for the franchise. And I mean, to keep it simple, the Mayo Man was seen as a boomer bust prospect, and it appears to be, well, the later of the two, which him being a bust, with a 21 and 16 touchdown to interception ratio. A miserable 3-14 record last season gifted them the first overall pick, which takes us back to the 2025 NFL draft. And yes, Levis does have eye-catching arm strength, but has struggled to be consistently accurate and properly read defenses, both facets of the game that cannot be compensated for by sheer athleticism in the NFL. More worryingly, this vindicted the many concerns scouts had about Levis at this time 2 years ago, weaknesses that have not been improved upon since. But on the other hand, Tennessee has a lot to be excited about with Cam Ward, who they just drafted. Ward received a powerful endorsement from Hall of Famer Warren Moon, who unretired his jersey number for the rookie to wear, mounting even more pressure on his shoulders. Cam Ward, fresh out of college, is significantly better under pressure than Levis, a quality that counts for a lot given the state of the Titans' offensive line. According to Pro Football Network, despite having one of the quickest times to throw in the NFL, the Titans allowed the 26th highest pressure rate and the 30th highest sack rate. The additions of Kevin Zeitler and Dan Moore Jr. in free agency should go a long way in fortifying the trenches. Nevertheless, Ward will need to get the ball out quickly, which he should be perfectly capable of doing considering his proclamation where he said,
I was able to watch a couple of their games this past season. A lot of their route concepts are similar to stuff that we do. So, if I'm drafted there, I just think it'll be plug and play.
And while Levis's play may have suffered at the hands of turnover in the coaching staff, Cam Ward is a player who has demonstrated that he's adaptable at many different levels. His endorsement of the Titans' playstyle implies that there was no better fit for the former Hurricane. But what is that system that he's going to be fitting into? Well, the Titans' offense is masterminded by a coaching tandem, head coach Brian Callahan and offensive coordinator Nick Holtz. Callahan calls the plays while Holtz is the eye in the sky on game days, a system that sounds somewhat unconventional for the pros, but has very legitimate precedents. Brian Callahan was previously the offensive coordinator for the Bengals, where he had an identical arrangement with the Cincinnati head coach Zach Taylor. During Callahan's tenure, he helped the Bengals to 2 AFC championship games and a Super Bowl, the peak of a stellar career as an offensive specialist. He's been around the league since 2010, earning praise for his coaching from quarterback greats like Peyton Manning and Matthew Stafford. Nick Holtz is no slouch either, having already worked closely with a young Andrew Luck at Stafford, bringing some serious quarterback coaching pedigree to this offense. The staff's experience with the elite talent under center, young and old, is a promising sign for Ward's trajectory in the league. While their first year in charge was disappointing, Callahan and Holtz will be looking to mold Cam Ward into the perfect starter in Nashville. Their coaching philosophy hinges on a pass-heavy offense, not entirely surprising given the Bengals' recipe for success in recent years. And while this is at odds with the Titans' franchise tradition of bell cow running backs leading the way, the new approach may be better suited to the personnel on hand. Of course, in theory, Will Levis's arm talent would carry them in the passing game, but inaccuracy and questionable instincts made him something of a liability. Ward's capacity for improvising both in and out of structure make him much better suited to Tennessee's systems. Above all, though, it relies heavily on the quarterback's decision-making, not too dissimilar from Mario Cristobal's Miami offense of 2024. Callahan lauded Ward's reading of the game and processing speed in his post-draft press conference, skills which have been missing from the quarterback room in Nashville for some time now. On top of that too, Ward has an incredibly strong arm, which sometimes sees him fall into hero ball tendencies, but evidently nothing that the staff believes that they can't coach out of him, otherwise he wouldn't have been taken so high. There is another pretty significant part of the Titans organization that kind of just remains up in the air, and it's the surrounding pieces around him. While we've already spoken about the offensive line improvements, Calvin Ridley remains the clear number one wide receiver on this offense. I mean, he enjoyed a 1,000-yard season as he led the Titans in most receiving categories, and you really can't question Ridley's talent, but seeing consistent production from him has proven tricky thus far. Instead, Ward may find comfort from a veteran signing in Tyler Lockett, who could be something more of a safety valve for the rookie despite his declining play. Tony Pollard has also been an incredible asset in the passing game and is one of Tennessee's more consistent playmakers, leading a respectable running back stable alongside Tajee Spears. Otherwise, Titans fans will be hoping for more from their tight end room, who has shown flashes of brilliance in a highly scrutinized Treylon Burks. The offense stalling last year wasn't all Levis's fault. The offense just in general really wasn't producing at all for any position group. With their new GM though arriving in 2025, the organization will be looking to rectify that shortcoming. Their new GM was a part of the Kansas City front office that led them to 3 straight Lombardis, helping construct one of the league's deepest and most consistent rosters. If he is able to apply that experience to the Titans organization over the next few years, it's entirely possible that they plug these holes on offense and we see Cam Ward's elite talent fully unleashed in Nashville. Whether that's going to be via the draft or trades does remain to be seen, but the work they've done to shore up the O-line and bringing in Tyler Lockett certainly shows a step in the right direction. The progress definitely does show that there shouldn't be as devastating lows as there were the season prior with Will Levis, but there still is definitely a lot more work to do before Tennessee is considered anything somewhat of a contender. Expecting a Jaden Daniels or CJ Stroud-esque rookie season from Cam Ward would be extremely unrealistic, as neither one of them were entering a situation quite as dire from a personnel standpoint. Nevertheless though, I really do think that Titans fans should be excited for what Cam Ward can bring to the table, because his ceiling is so much higher than Will Levis and his floor is also much higher than Will Levis's was. And yes, of course, that is not saying that his game isn't flawless, but his ceiling is just so much higher than Will Levis. It's just so much better. Yes, while his poise in the pocket is admirable, he won't be able to get away with such little urgency in his game at the next level. As we've seen with so many gifted quarterbacks before him that grew into the starting job as rookies, such as Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, minimizing the hero ball in his blood will likely be a battle in and of itself. With an improving squad around him, it's important to temper your expectations for Cam Ward's rookie season. He may take some time to adjust to the quality of NFL defenses, despite being a great schematic fit for what Callahan and Holtz have going on. At this point in time, it's unclear whether or not he's going to be starting at week 1, or what the rest of that quarterback room is really just going to look like around him, with a Will Levis trade looking increasingly likely possibly. While the short-term future in Nashville may only yield marginal improvements, upheaval in the front office and some much needed consistency in the coaching staff should signal improvement over the next few seasons. And yes, there may not be too much around him now, but Ward could absolutely help set the foundations for a return to the Titans' not too distant glory of the Ryan Tannehill years. If they get another high draft pick next year, who's to say they don't snag a shiny new toy for Ward, or perhaps maybe it will come later in this year's edition of the draft. His adaptability when faced with different levels of competition and a variety of offensive philosophies at the collegiate level bodes well for Ward's acclimation process. Either way though, the Titans have a bright future with Cam Ward under center. The guy can ball, and who's to say that if he doesn't hit it off, he won't help redefine the meaning of Titans football and bring them even closer to their first Lombardi.